But what are you saying about some of the big stories making headlines? Jeffrey joins me now for a review of those stories.
Absolutely. So, Bukola will get straight to those conversations that they've been talking about. But listening to the EFCC boss, no, not EFCC, NSA, is anybody there, Tinubu and wins. I was just like, okay. I like that optimism at the end of the day. But the idea is not about the president, it's about the Nigerian state. I think that should be a better way to put it.
Yeah.
I know perhaps he was excited with all sense of respect. It's a Nigerian state that anybody should dare. So whether you're Lakarua or Boko Haram or ISWAP, you don't dare the Nigerian state. Our military will be up to their responsibility by the grace of God if you give them all they have, because we've heard that these guys, they are really good.
Well, Jeffrey, we understand that some things are just political statements, and when we don't see evidence, there's no reason for us to get excited about them.
Political statement should not be coming from the NSA. That was a political statement. So that's my 2 cents on that particular issue. But let's talk about what you have been talking about. And that has to do with the revelation by the EFCC boss, Mr. Olukoyede, saying that the level of corruption in the power sector will make you cry. That is what he said. You know, I always talk about this gentleman every time because I feel that he holds a lot in terms of responsibility to the Nigerian state to help us, you know, stop people that are stealing our commonwealth, to deter them, if you will. So we need more action. So when I hear things like this, not really too impressed. Let's get to the matter. Before we start crying, get the people that are making us to cry at the end of the day. So this is what you're saying. Ibrahim Omi said, it's truly heartbreaking for a country with such potential. It's tragic that so much is siphoned away while millions still lack reliable electricity.
A Free Farm said corruption in Nigeria involves bribe taking, embezzlement, fraud, and nepotism, significantly impacting governance, economic development, and public trust, despite various anti-corruption efforts.
Oh, look at this statement. That is from Chief Emmanuel on corruption in Nigeria's power sector, while highlighting a critical issue might ring hollow to many Nigerians unless accompanied by tangible action. That's exactly what I mean. The EFCC under its leadership should indeed focus on systemic corruption. Start with high-profile cases like that of Yahya Bello. Get him to court, according to... Let the man decide, fight for his life, whether he's guilty or not.
Let him defend the allegations leveled against him, and let's see whether indeed he is innocent.
Let me complete the guy's
guilty. As Jeffrey says, go after the big guys, and that's when we'll know that indeed the FCC is working for Nigerians. I mean, the money at stake is public funds, is taxpayers' money that should go into development. So this guy completes by saying, whose alleged financial misdeeds have been a topic of public concern. So I'm going to hold the EFCC chairman responsible yet again. You're the one saying the level of corruption will make us cry. That means you have facts, you have evidence to make sure anybody who committed those crimes or stole or made us, has brought us here in the power sector, you have facts. That's why it can make us cry. So go after them. If you don't go after them, that's two. We have the issue of Yahya on you. We now have the issue of power sector. Is it sabotage now? Anyway. And, you know, there may also be need for, you know, the EFCC to look into ministries, departments, and agencies as well. There may be a lot of corruption going in there. And, in fact, into that space at the state level. Remember the report from Budget, you know, saying that 58% of funds allocated to the health sector were unspent. So what happened to those funds? Okay,
let's race as much as we can because we have a lot to talk about today on the program. Still power sector, the Minister of Power says, that's Mr. Adelabo, that it needs $10 billion in terms of investment to have 24-hour electricity. I just say he's saying the truth, but truth is bitter. Nothing comes out of nothing. The power sector needs a huge investment to achieve constant power. Bukola, you have the next one.
And Baby Jacob is the next user who says, this is just the reason behind the collapse of national grid every AK market
day. Adamu says, break how you plan to spend the $10 billion on electricity. On what? Give analysis on how this spending will give 24-hour electricity to Nigerians.
Now, if a huge allocation has gone to the electricity sector, you know, this year alone, and only 4% is for personnel management, then the EFCC is saying something that we should all be paying attention to. How have the rest of the funds been disbursed? Let's go to the next talking point, something for everyone to chew on. Ipman announces fuel price slash by 50 naira.
You know what?
Are you excited?
I'm not, actually. But at least... No, to say half bread is better than buff.
Well, James is the first user. James says, can you imagine? Yes, Can you imagine? What will the reduction of 50 naira do for us? It's as good as not even reducing anything from its original price now.
All right,
well, I remember buying petrol 2 days ago for 1,050 naira per litre, and it didn't make any difference at all.
James says, can you imagine what will reduction of 50 naira do for us? It's as good as not even, okay, you read that. To me, this is not slash. You met petrol price at 195 and the price now is between 12 to 13. I will believe it's indeed slash or reduction if the price can go down to 190 or lower than that. I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
Were horses.
Okay.
Well, and Olu is the last user here. Olu says 50 naira is actually too minute. Only 50% reduction is worthy of the term slash.
Okay, because this is what we'll do. We have a lot that our guys, our producers have given to us to do with the issue of what people have been talking about, and we need to look for we need to look for a way to capture all of them. But maybe we'll just get straight to that very first conversation that has to do with sports today. But let's get to that. Okay, let's get to that one first, because we have a lot packed on the show, from Ondo to sports to
World Diabetes Day.
So perhaps if time allows us, we're going to come back to the trends to bring you up to speed with what you've been talking about, so we can accommodate as many things as possible.